What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and yes, Spin Firearms with another Glock 26 video. Well, this one is actually going to be really different. Actually, a really cool video if you ask me. I don't care who clicks away or whatever the case may be, because this is a moment that I actually really enjoy. I'm going to tell you the full story from the beginning, and we're going to talk about this Glock 26, but not this actual 26, but we're going to talk about the barrel that has been placed in this 26. We're going to take it out, and I'm going to show you how crazy this is. Anyways, if you know me, I get a lot of firearm parts off of eBay. eBay has some awesome verified stores like Hooper Gun Works and the Glock store, and all sorts of companies are on there and literally just have a store on there. People say, oh, you're going to get scammed on eBay. I've never been scammed on eBay once. I always get the item I'm asking for, always the item I'm looking for, and I always get it at a reasonable price. Therefore, eBay is an awesome way to go. And I always go on there and just look at Glock 26 parts, see if any, OEM barrels are on there for cheaper, or whatever the case may be. Because once you hit a certain round count, I do like to swap out my barrels once they start slipping. But I've never put the amount of rounds that have gone through this barrel through a firearm in my life. Hopefully I can eventually. I'd like to do this with my own Glock 26. But in this case, this barrel has 121,600 rounds through it. Let me repeat that. 121,600 rounds through it, and they are verified and logged. Now, what's interesting is I was on eBay looking for an OEM barrel, and I came across an OEM barrel, right? And so I looked at it, and the description said that it was worn and not accurate. So I was very curious about it. And so I looked and I clicked the description, because I'm like, what? Why wouldn't it be, accurate? Why is it so worn? And on there, this is how you know this stuff is real. People are going to say, oh, prove it, show the log, show this. I'll show you the screenshots of all the posts on eBay. Literally, it says, not worn, or very worn, not accurate. And I read the description, it says it has over 100,000 rounds. So I actually reached out to the guy and I said, you know what, for the price you're selling it at, there's basically no point to owning this other than to say that this has that many rounds through it. And to basically verify it by looking at it, checking it out. But the main reason I did is I reached out to the guy. I'm like, how many rounds do you actually have? And I also asked, how do you know? Because I also keep a log of my round counts. Now, they're not perfect. They're generally around the ballpark, give or take a couple hundred rounds, because I have a system, and it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. He said, let me check my logs for you. I have 121,600 rounds. I asked him, I said, why is it that you have that many rounds for 126? Like, why just that firearm? He goes, because I have a habit. I love the Glock 26. Literally someone whose favorite handgun is a 26. And so he set out basically to test it at all areas of shooting, right? And so the Glock 26 is what he ran. He also did a lot of, made his own competition loads that were extremely light and so on, which we're going to talk about. But for the first 21,150 rounds, I want to say, he didn't clean it and he didn't lubricate it. That was his first malfunction. 150 rounds. Now, if he is, because I told him I would give him the link once I make the video, so he could check it out. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I also want him to put some more information down in the comments for you guys, because this is absolutely amazing. Now, let's go ahead and take, and then I also wanted to mention, he said there was a couple failures to feed, a couple failures to extract, but he said it never worried him because it was his super light competition loads. And also, he said he rarely ever cleaned his Glock 26. He said the amount of maintenance and the amount of cleaning he'd done was basically nothing. He said he would get lazy and then eventually get to it and he would clean it and then all the malfunctions would go away. And even with the amount of malfunctions he had, when you put 121,600 rounds through a firearm, you were afforded, according to the FBI, about 2,500 to 2,800 malfunctions. Hear me out. The FBI classifies a reliable handgun as a handgun that has 98% reliability. So, 2 malfunctions every 100 rounds. That sounds like a lot of issues to me, but in this case, it would allow the handgun to have about 2,500 to 2,800 rounds through it. Maybe a little less. It's probably about 2,300 actually. It was nowhere near that. And think about all the wear on these parts. And he only had one spring break the whole entire time. Like I said, I will send him the link to this video, and at some point I would like for him to drop in the comments. But let's actually check out this barrel, right? Because here's the barrel that just came out of my 26, right? And that one so far only has 750 rounds since I bought it used. Look at the barrel. I mean, look at that. There's like no wear, nothing. And I dropped it, of course. No wear Clean as can be. I mean, really clean, lubricated. Now let's take a look at this barrel. Right? Doesn't seem like that much wear until you actually look at this thing. This amount, there's a missing amount of metal right there. Do you guys see that? It slants down. Look at that. And I would like to look into the barrel of it. Let me grab my handheld real quick. One of my handhelds. One of my better handhelds, I should say. I think I have it nearby. And let's check this thing out down the bore. Right? Oh, of course that one's not working. Sorry, guys. Should have been prepared. I have another one. Because I always have a handheld with me. Always. Always, always. Alright. Let's take a look. Where's the O lights when you need them? They're right here. Alright. So you see the wear. That's pretty common. That's where my Gen 5 has this exact same pattern in it. So a very common pattern for Glocks. Look at the bore. Look at the bore. Look at the inside of this. It's not completely smooth. But I mean, look at the inside of this thing. That is... Look at that. That is crazy. And so the reason I bought it is, one, it's a cool story to tell, because that's HK, type of testing. That's ridiculous type of testing. That's testing that 99.99999% of the world will never do through their handgun. But I am setting out to do the exact same thing. This guy 100% motivated me, right? Now I bought this. I literally have nothing to do with it, right? Well, you're wrong. I will be taking this, running it out of my 26, and we are going to see how it performs. Because the reason he got rid of it, he said it's not accurate. He says it keyholes. So when you're shooting, that round is not going to go in straight like a normal round would. It's going to wobble. It's going to flip. It's going to go in like a key does, right? Because it's no longer accurate. It is so worn down on the inside. Tolerances are so loose. Nothing is keeping that round straight and on target. But dang, this is amazing. It's actually really cool. I don't care if anyone thinks it's cool. The Glock 26 being my favorite handgun, a test like this literally just solidifies the fact that the Glock 26 is one of the greatest, most reliable, everyday carry handguns in the whole entire world. I don't care what anyone says. That is why I carry my 26. You hear stories like this. You see stuff like this about the 26, how flawless it is, how amazing it is, how you can run it without cleaning it, how it takes a beating. And in this case, it took 121,600 beatings. Now, like I said, I hope he comments down below with all the information or anything I said that was incorrect. That'd be really helpful. But video coming soon on these keyholes. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.